Even now, I sometimes struggle to get out that front door, but I have responsibilities of people who've got it worse than me that we go and work with, and at the top of it, I enjoy what I do.
What about your own personal art?
Well, the photography that I do started off as a personal thing. When I got ill, I spent most of that time when I was not leaving my house learning Photoshop and learning how to do creative editing and create new bits of artwork, because I wasn't getting out to take new pictures, so I was having to take other people's pictures and selfies in the mirror. There wasn't even a term called selfie back then. I wasn't even pointing the camera at me, I'd point it at the mirror and take a picture of me. Never even thought about just turning it around. I was interested in the manipulation of photographs, creating stuff. I was special effects. I did pictures. I created new bits of artwork from bits of images. Graphic design, I think, is what you would call it now. I did pictures of myself where I would transform myself into a vampire or something, and then have a concept. I used to get, I can't remember the name of the magazines, but they would teach you Photoshop skills and creativity skills, and they'd have projects in there. And I used the magazine to learn the techniques,
Yes.
and then I created artwork. There's a lot of stuff in there that I didn't show anybody for about 6 years that was very personal. One of the pieces now is up at University of Birmingham,
Right.
and it relates directly to a suicide attempt. There's a picture of me. The collage, let's call it a collage, it's a bit more than a collage, it combines a packet of Anadin, bottle of vodka, a picture of me, and there's probably the little bits there, and it kind of how I felt. And on the Anadin packet, their kind of mission statement, ending pain, and that kind of fitted in what the purpose of what was happening to me then. To me, that was like the end of pain is what I was aiming for with that. But it was a therapeutic, a cathartic, actually just getting the thoughts out, because I had nobody to speak to. And even at that point, I did not realise I had mental health issues.
No.
That this would, I just thought, things had gone wrong, but I just did not understand why or what. So I kind of, I used the techniques in the magazines and online, whatever I found, to create my own artwork. And at the time, I thought that's what I wanted to do, but it was more because I couldn't get out and take actual photographs.
So you were very creative in this time too, really?
Yes. I kind of learnt photo editing, video editing, how to get the software to do all that.
Yes.
I kind of learnt quite a bit. I kind of spent the time teaching. So that's why I didn't realise that I'd cut myself off. It was like a year had gone by before I kind of realised that there's something wrong here. To me, I was just not going out, I was doing something.
You were learning.
I've always done that, even as a young age. Now I know I've had issues way before that, and it would be book learning. I used to read encyclopedias. Somebody bought me little mini Collins book, and I used to read them end to cover, just all the time, learning things from in there. I used to know how to make nitroglycerine from this sort of encyclopedia. I wouldn't know how to physically do it. I knew what went into it because I used to read that. So I've always done that. It's just been part of even now, it's a different method that I use now. My spare time, I say spare, I have trouble sleeping, so there's a lot of spare time sometimes in the evenings, and I watch YouTube tutorials. Some of it's based on video editing, some of it I'm trying to learn music editing at the moment and creating music. I've always been interested in it, just not been very good at it, but I enjoyed the process, and so that stuff kind of stays a little bit personal. But I do use some of the techniques that I learned to create sound effects and how I edit some of the sounds and music for LouDeemy's theatre shows. I'd like to do more photography, just don't have the time. It's the time that I have is late at night, nowhere to go and do that. I'm not into night photography. It's too cold in this country.
No.
Technology moves at such a pace.
Yeah.
I'm still learning new things, and but that excites me. Technology does, how we're developing and things that we do, scares me as well at the same time, as most people should be, at taking over and people not doing so much for themselves, but using it as a tool for the right way. That's exciting, I think. But I find that creative as well. Computers, some people think technology, no, but you can do a lot with that. I mean, my photography, video editing, the music, I could not do it without a computer. Getting into doing all this, my first commissioned piece of work was to make a film about how art helps in mental health issues, and that film got me a lot of other work and also paid for my first Mac computer. And that wasn't the expenses, here's £20, you know, because you're on the dole and that's all you can have. It was a proper rate, and that made me think, if somebody values what I'm doing to pay me a proper rate, there's got to be other idiots out there. But it got me on the road and thinking, yeah, this is something I may want to do. And if somebody's willing to pay me for this, because up to that point I was still volunteering.
Where do people come in all of this?
They tend to, at the moment, come in for work. There's work, but for a while, that's what it was. There was work, and then there was the personal crate, which was very personal and solitary. In the last, say, 5 years, since LouDeemy got together, because of the work we do, and now that we're kind of working with different organisations, we're hiring people, and there's more socialising, etc. going on with that. So I am going out more and doing that, and I'm getting where I was before I had the full-on breakdown, but I don't want it to happen the same way back then, because I was a bit unruly, had no control of what I was doing, a lot of drink, and you know, that was not good. So now it's all under control. I do go out, I've got my personal art, I've got the work, which is still art, and then I've got a social element as well. So it's becoming more fuller and rounder.
But sometimes you act as well.
I do. I have acted in a Shakespeare play and self-written pieces from Louise. There's a piece about eating disorders, and because of the necessity again, not enough in the budget to hire any other actors, I play a psychiatrist in that. It's a training theatrical piece that we do at University of Birmingham. But yeah, so I enjoy it, but it scares the hell out of me, getting in front of that. And I'm getting better on some of the workshops, and we do, well, the stuff we've been doing, 300 Voices, Louise is in it, and then I lead the workshop part on that. I don't even have Louise's backup on that. And at the beginning, it was very light, and you know, took it easy, and no, I throw myself into it, and I do. And the good thing is, most of the audiences, once you set them off, I don't need to deal with them much after that, because they just connect with the piece, interactive, and I'm not having to do so much marshalling. But I can do that better now than I used to, but it's still not my. If I had a choice, I wouldn't choose to be doing that for a living. That side of it,
no.
I'd rather be behind.
Yeah. Are you happy?
I'm happier. You need very good backup system, people around you, and I do have that, and I have my job, which helps, and I've got Louise and other people that I can talk to, and people that are around me. The art, what I actually do, because it's on both sides, that helps me. The work on it, that working with other people who at this point are going through what I went through, or even worse, is so rewarding as well. That helps as well. And art, I've always said, that really helps. But the work, I'm happy with the work, I'm happy with but there's days, and the things that are in there, that were there, that caused the little break, they're still there. They still come in and whisper their little thoughts, and some days are better than others. There are days when it can be not as bad as it used to be, but it can come quite close. And especially because for the last 2 years, I think, maybe a bit longer, I haven't taken medication. So
I have more peaks and troughs.
I don't want to flat way all the way through life, you know, where it plateaus you out and you don't know what's good or bad then. You're just on one level. So I do have the lows, which are more without the medication, but then the highs can be more high without that as well. So it swings and roundabouts.
But I know I'm alive. I work, at the moment, I think it's about 5 to 6 days a week. And it's stuff that I like to do. So to me, that is my medication.
Well, I'm not going to talk till my lawyer gets here.
No,
We've got an awkward one here. Can you please?
I was told I'd get it free. I've had snails and I like snails, but mussels and winkles and...
Yes.
I thought that's what this was going to be about. Seafood,
Yes.
Jackie and Nadeem.